Hello, welcome to Restorative Yoga. And this restorative yoga practice is going to be great for relaxation. If you're having trouble sleeping and you need to unwind before you go to bed, this is going to be great for that. Speaking of better sleep, this practice can be done in a bed. So if you're trying to unwind and then you've got plans to go to bed right after this, you can do this right in the bed, totally okay. And obviously, you can also do it on the floor as I will be demonstrating. But the only props you really need, now I'm using bolsters, which are sturdy cushions, but you can use pillows as needed. I've got quite a few folded blankets over here. You may not need that many. Bath towels work just as well. They don't have to be official yoga blankets. They can be any kind of blanket that works for you. But I've got quite a few here for different things. Um, and you can always just bring things in as you need them. The other thing I have over here is an eye pillow and it's a little bit weighted. And I'm going to use that for final relaxation in Shavasana. You do not have to use one of those if you do not have one or do not like them. And if you're someone who, like me, also sleeps with an eye, not an eye pillow, but an eye mask, just to kind of block out the light, if that would be something that would help you calm your nervous system for final relaxation, please feel free to bring one of those in as well. It is all good. I like to also practice with water close by because I never know when I may need it. And sometimes when I'm lying flat, my throat gets a little dry and having a little bit of sip of water can be helpful. It's always good to just have some close by. So that being said, let's go ahead and get started. We'll start from a comfortable seat. I'm going to bring one of these blankets down here. I'm going to sit on it here. We're just going to prep the body, make things easier to be in stillness for some of these poses. Now, I am in a little bit of a different outfit today. I do recommend this practice with very comfortable clothes. So I'm not wearing a yoga top. I am wearing yoga pants because those are comfortable for me. If socks, putting socks on would be great for you, feel free to have that. If having a fan blowing on you, if you're like me and you're going through perimenopause or what have you, and that makes you more comfortable, feel free to bring in whatever it is you need. So let's start in a nice, comfortable seat. As we're seated, in whatever way that's best for you to sit. You can be crisscross applesauce, legs forward, legs out to the side, sitting back on the heels, on a pillow, on a blanket, doesn't matter. And then I want you to notice within the body, is there anywhere in the body that you could soften just a little bit more? So sometimes when I sit on a floor, I tend to grip my hips a little bit. So if that's you as well, maybe kind of just releasing through there. Just release a little bit through the belly. Release the shoulders. Unclench the jaw. And relax around the forehead and the eyes. We want to bring a little bit of calmness to our nervous system as well. So as best as you can, I want you to try to breathe in and out through the nose. And if you can't do that, just remember at the end of the day, the most important thing is to just breathe. And then from here, good. Take the hands to heart center. Create a little intention for this practice. Now, I did say this practice is about relaxation, maybe fostering some better or good sleep. So maybe that could be your intention. But I always find it, especially if you're doing this practice at the end of the day, gratitude is always a good one. And then once you have that set, good, release. Just take the arms up, reach up overhead. We'll take a nice side bend. I'm going to the left. It doesn't really matter what side you start with. We're going to end up doing both sides. Just kind of take that moment, get that nice stretch. Both hips are grounded. Good. Now, I'm going to give you an option. You can stay here. You can come out. You can side bend deeper if that's appropriate. You can choose to open more towards the back if appropriate, or maybe finding a little C curve roll here if appropriate. If you've got osteoporosis or something like that, or a forward flexion of the spine is not good for you, don't take this one. But do expand that rib cage. Inhale to open. Exhale, coming back. And let's reach up nice and tall again. And we'll take that over to the right now. Reaching over, breathing, expanding. And then you choose where you're going to go. You can stay here. You can choose to side bend a little bit deeper. You can choose to open up towards the back. Or you can choose a nice little C curve roll. Forehead in the direction of the knee, but not touching. Inhale and then open. Exhale, coming up. Take the arms up again and reach. And we'll rotate towards the left. Arms are going to come down. Just a nice gentle twist. Rolling the shoulders back. Looking a little bit more behind you. Maybe using that back end, pressing into the floor or to the bed to help you get a little bit more length with that twist. Inhale to lift. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale. Exhale, go into the opposite direction. Arms are going to come down. Back hand can help you pressing into the floor or into a mattress. Breathing and expanding. And then we'll lift and come back. Take a moment here to get any other little movement that might feel good to you. Maybe just a little bit of a side bend in the neck, a little bit of a semicircle, maybe some shoulder rolls forward and back, maybe just a little bit of a spinal roll. Let's take this into a little bit of alternate nostril breathing. So for alternate nostril breathing, I'm going to take my right hand, and you want your ring finger and your pinky finger to come together. And you can take your middle finger and your pointer finger together as well. And then the thumb will come out. It's kind of like the Star Trek with Long and Prosper thing. Doesn't have to be that way. But what we're going to do is we're going to use the ring finger and the pinky finger to close off the left side. And we'll use the thumb to close off the right side. Now, if doing your fingers like this, and this took me quite a while to be able to do this without manually putting my fingers in place. If that is just too complicated for right now, just use the pointer finger, just use the thumb, and then you'll just go back and forth there, okay? No need to stress about it, and just do what you can do. Some people also during this breath like to take the middle finger and a pointer finger and just put it right between the eye and that third eye section. Some people do not like to do that, so I'm going to encourage you to do what feels good to you. Okay, so from here, let's just take a few deep breaths. Big exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Close the right. Inhale left. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale left. Close left. Open right. Inhale right. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale right. Close left. Or close right. Open left. Inhale. Close left. Open right. Exhale. Inhale right. Close right, open left, exhale. Inhale left. Close left, open right, exhale. Inhale right. Close right, open left, exhale. Inhale right. Close left, open, and exhale. Inhale right. Close right, open left, exhale. Release the hand. Breathe normal. Hopefully that was a little bit calming to the nervous system there. You can use that breath work at any time throughout the day that you may need it. Let's go into our first pose here. We're going to do a supported reclining pose here. And because this is a recline, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my folded blankets and I'm going to fold it just like this. Okay. Now a pillow will also work as well. Kind of be mindful as to how high or low you would like your incline to be. So now I'm going to take my bolster. So I'm going to angle it here. So I'm at that little bit of an incline. Now, because I know myself, I'm just here. Now, because I know myself, I know that when I recline here, my back is going to want a little bit of support here, kind of like filling in that space. So I'm going to take a blanket. So here's how it kind of is here. I'm going to unravel that one time like this. And then I'm going to just roll that up just like this. And then I'm going to have that right here. Good. And then that's going to fill in that space for my back. I also want my arms to be supported here. So I'm going to take a folded blanket and place here for one arm to be. And on the other side, I'm going to take another folded blanket for my other arm to be there as well. And then I want, and you can always put another blanket up here if you want your head to be a little bit more supported. And I might want that to stay. So, okay. So I also know that when I lie back here, I want my knees to have a little bit of a bend in them, but I don't want to constantly think about bending my knees because I want to focus on the relaxation. So you can take some other folded blankets. You can take a pillow. I'm just going to use my other bolster here to slide underneath without knocking over my water. Good. So then I'm going to have that nice support here. And because this is relaxation, I'm just going to I recommend undo any hair binds that might be here as well. So now I'm going to lie back. I'm going to make sure my bolster is in a good spot. Sure my arm supports are in a good spot. Pull this down a little bit here. Yes. Now my neck and head are nice and supported. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle if you need to. And we will be here for about 4 minutes. 4 minutes. I'm going to encourage you here to begin by just taking some nice deep breaths in and out with the nose. Relaxing any tension around the feet and the heels. Allowing the legs to be supported. Allowing the arms to be supported. The back body is supported. Trust your props. Just sink in. Taking those deep breaths. Coming back to gratitude. What are 2 things you can be grateful for today? Not what happened to you necessarily, but what are 2 things that you're grateful for today? Relax around the jaw, the face, and the eye. And from here, taking some deep breaths, maybe blinking the eyes a little bit, moving the fingers and the toes. Once we've kind of sunk into a restorative yoga posture, we don't want to just pop right back up. So in the way that's best for you, however you need to come out of this. And then slowly, I'm just going to kick my lower bolster out of the way that was under my legs. Carefully roll over to my side, and then carefully take it back up. Now, if you need to spend more time on your side for whatever reason, please honor yourself and give yourself what your body. The next pose we're going to do is supported bound angle pose. And for this one, we don't necessarily need something under the legs. I'm going to put this bolster out of the way. But I'm going to show you a way that you can do this one. So all of this setup is going to stay the same. Okay, so no changes there. But you have some options. We're going to take the soles of the feet together here, and then we're going to support the legs for this bound angle. So you can take a folded blanket and fold it again and place under your each leg here so that they have support. It can be whatever level of support you need. Some people are going to need more or less support here based on how open your hips are. You can do that. You can also do a pillow. For me, for the sake of not having to use a whole bunch of props, I'm going to take my blanket like this, and I'm going to make another roll, just like I did for my low back here. Good. Now I've got that roll. I'm going to take both of my feet together. I'm going to place that roll on top of the feet, and then I'm just going to kind of tuck that in under here. So now I've got that support, and I don't need a whole lot of extra prop to do it. This also provides a little bit of pressure, a little bit of weight on the feet here, which can be very grounding. If you feel like that you want more weight or groundedness there, you can always put another blanket on top. Just kind of be mindful as to what your needs are. But other than that, we're going to come right back into where we are or where we were. Good. So making sure everything has its support. And then from here, if you need to wiggle, 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 wiggle a little bit. And we're going to take this for another 4 minutes here. Nice big breath. Releasing around the forehead and the eyes. And crunching the jaw. Let the belly go here. The belly doesn't need to do anything but just be. You can let go through the hips. The legs are supported. Nice expanding breath. And in addition to those things that we were grateful for, maybe pondering, what can I do tomorrow to make me a better person than I was today? What can I do tomorrow to help me be better than where I was today? Big breath. Relax the jaw. And then from here again, taking some deep breaths, opening up the eyes, wiggling fingers and toes. Take your hands to your thighs, gently guide those knees back up towards the ceiling. Whenever you're ready in the way that's best for you, carefully roll over to one side, staying there for as long as you need. When you're ready, we'll come back up. Good. Now for me, I'm going to take a drink of my water here. And we're going to set up now for a supported back bend. And some people call this mountain boat pose and different things, but I'm going to call it supported back bend. So now we're going to kind of overhaul some of this stuff here for a moment. I'm going to keep one of these rolls because I'm going to use it as a neck roll and neck support here in a moment. I'm just going to put that to the side. Let's bring some of these blankets here out of the way. Let's just refold that real quick. Okay. I'm going to place this up here. So for supported back bend, there's different levels of a back bend you can do, and it really depends on the person. Sometimes I like to back bend with my bolster and just lie across. I don't want something that deep or that big today, so I'm going to use a couple blankets. Some people may only need one blanket. Some people like just a small little roll with a blanket like that. I'm going to take two blankets here, just like this, and stack them. Good. Then this is going to be, let's move this down a little bit here. This is going to be my neck support. Now, if you're on a hard surface, you might want something back here to just support the head a little bit, but I'm on a softer surface because I've got a base blanket in my mat. If you're on your bed, you won't necessarily need that. But this space here is for the shoulders and the arms to come out there. If you want support under the arms, when they're here, you can bring those in. For this particular one, I do not, so I'm not going to bring those in. I do want some low back support by having a cushion or something under my legs. So I'm going to bring my bolster back in here. Good. And you want to sit, as you do this back bend, you want to sit up against whatever props that you're using for it. So I'm going to come here. Good. And then I'm going to bring this more under my head. I'm going to let my shoulders and my arms just kind of slide through here. Good. Getting out any little wiggles. Make sure that whatever you're using for a back bend, your back bend, it's not too deep for you. It should be relatively comfortable. And then once we're here, there we go. Get out any little wiggles. We'll be here for 4 minutes. And breathing and expanding. Trusting the props to support you. Releasing around the forehead and the eyes. And clenching the jaw. And back bends are often referred to as heart openers. What could you open your heart to more tomorrow? Breathe. a floating on the water sensation would help you. You can visualize that here. It's one of my favorites. And then from here, then gently blink the eyes open. A little bit of movement of the fingers and the toes. You feel okay. Maybe a little bit of the head side to side, but nothing too extreme. When you're ready, you can bend in the knees, maybe moving the leg support out of the way for a moment. And then once you're ready, just kind of push into the feet, shift the hips to one side, moving over to one side. And as much as you need to, you can stay there, or you can come up to a seat. Good. So our final pose that we're going to do before we go into basic relaxation and Savasana, the supported seated angle pose. So this one went a little bit more into extension. The next one's going to go into a little bit more of flexion, but always be mindful of your body's needs. So for this one, I'm just going to take my legs out to the side. I'm going to take a bolster and bring that bolster all the way in. I'm going to use my two blankets that I used for my back bend. I'm just going to stack them right on top. Now, for some people, this may be enough as you come forward and hug. For me, it's not real comfortable to come that deep into the flexion here. I need a little bit of support through here. So what I'm going to do is take one of my blankets and I'm going to fold that. Good. So now when I come in, I'm going to bring that relatively close. When I come in, I can just get a nice gentle and rest right here. Okay? So always, build yourself up the way that you need to build yourself up. So we'll be in this one for 4 minutes as well, but because you've got your head to one side, at 2 minutes, you'll hear this go off, or I'll remind you, and then we're going to turn the head to the other side so the head is not out of, and neck are not out of balance by looking in one direction for too long. So from here, whenever you're ready, whenever you're set, good. Let's take that here. And again, kind of let the feet just kind of relax here. the arms and everything just dangle and sink in. Big breaths. And relax around the forehead and the eyes. Relax the jaw. And maybe having some gratitude for prioritizing yourself with this practice. Prioritizing relaxation and stress reduction. Prioritizing sleep and doing what you need to do in order to make that happen safely. And flip it here. Let's take the head and neck. Take that gaze to the other side now, quickly. And breathing. And bring it back. And we prioritize reducing stress, prioritizing that sleep. Never know if that helps you with overall health and wellness. Helps you be a better person. All of your relationships. And helps you work and be at home with more effectiveness than you. And from here, gently, gently come out. And sit here for a moment. From here, we'll take our basic shavasana and relaxation. I'm going to kind of undo these props a little bit here. So basically, what you're wanting to achieve here is deep relaxation. So if you feel like the setup of what we're getting ready to do is going to make you fall asleep, that's great. If that's what you're doing this for, just make sure that you kind of close out um, what we're doing so YouTube doesn't try to play another video or something like that for you and interrupt. But I'm going to refold. Actually, you know what? Feels pretty good. I'm just going to leave that right there. Use this other blanket here. Mm, Actually, I'm going to do that a little better. You do not have to cover yourself up, but we're going to be in this one for 5 minutes. And I'm also going to use a blanket over my belly for a little bit more grounding. And I think I'm going to bring, because I'm on a harder surface, some cushions here for my arms. And then I'm going to reach back here, maybe grab that eye pillow. So this would be the place you would put on an eye mask if you're going to use that. Good. Right here. Good. And then, my friends, let's kind of get any other little kink. Do what it is that you need to do to make yourself about 10% more comfortable. I'm going to unfold this blanket one time. Good. And then from here, I will leave you for the next 5 minutes. Breathe deep and be grateful for this practice. If you drift off, have a wonderful rest, and I'll see you soon. yoga. You're still with me. Take some deep breaths. When you're ready, there is no rush. Invite some gentle movement with the fingers and the toes. You're going to go back into stillness and gently take the head and neck from side to side. Just in the stillness. Carefully remove an eye pillow and the eye mask if you're using that. And when you're ready, maybe removing anything that you had put across the belly, like kind of grounding. I'm going to carefully bend in my knees. I've got my knees on my feet on my bolster for right now. When ready, you can move that bolster away, gently rolling over to your right or left side, the side that's best for you in this moment. Taking a few moments now to spend here on the side. And then when you're ready, carefully come up to a seat. We started our practice. Taking a moment to notice, hopefully, a less stressed, more easeful body, prepped well for sleep, fingertips to the side, palms turning up. We'll reach up as we bring the hands together and begin to bring them down. We'll stop with thumbs at the forehead for good and true thoughts, to the lips for good and kind words, and to the heart for open and loving hearts. Knowing no effort on this mat or mattress is ever wasted, no gain is ever reversed. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Have a wonderful, restful evening, a restful day. Namaste.